Turn the AC on. Welcome back, everybody, to another thrilling Nigerian romance scammer live. I have cake. I have ice cream. I'm also a year older today, and I've got this foolish guy. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Julianne. I don't know how long I'll have good internet here, but I'm going to try. I've got this foolish guy on the hook, and I am going to be torturing him for fun. Thank you, Julianne. Let me read you what he said. He friended me, and then he said hello. And then he said, hello, thanks for accepting me as your friend. I came across your profile, and your great beauty caught my attention. So I've decided to add you as my special friend and see if we can get to know ourselves more better. I am from Rome, Italy. I base in Austin, Texas, but I'm presently in Sicily, Italy, executing my 2-month project, which I will soon be done with. Where are you from? Okay. I have to think about this for a minute because I don't know how much real BS I want to tell him, how much, hey, Jessica, I don't know. It's just one of those. This is the biggest birthday present a girl could get. Okay. I'm going to tell him. I guess I'll feed him the truth, but if the truth is convoluted, so he'll never pick up on it. Where am I from? Where am I from? Or where do I live? This is another one of those tactics that I think is excellent if you're dealing with problematic people, you're dealing with people you don't want to talk to, or people that are giving you a hassle. You know what you do? You answer the question with a question. You throw another question out there instead of giving them a straight answer. I've always found that that is really the best way to do it. Man, this hair weighs a ton. I am tempted to shave my head right now because this stuff is just the hottest, heaviest stuff on the planet. I get tired of it sometimes. Hey, Jessica. No, I know I could block him, but I enjoy these guys. And I took screen caps of all their profiles, and I send them off to several of the 419 scammer projects. So these guys don't know that they are being, I'm catfishing them right along. They're trying to catfish me to get money out of me. I'm just wasting their time and taking as much of their real information as I can get. This guy is interesting because he has 3 different photographs from 3 different guys, and none of them match. And he's trying to say all 3 of them are him. One of the guys is a boat captain, one of the pictures. One of the other guys is military. And one of the other guys, it looks like he's just a working stiff. So he thinks that I'm too dumb to be Googling him and taking a look. Where are you now presently? Country. Today, I am in Costa Rica. Tomorrow in Nicaragua. Actually, I am going to be in Nicaragua, but not tomorrow. It's going to be a couple days from now. I have to go do my border run to keep my visa valid. He could be a woman trying to get money, but my experience has taught me through the years that most of these guys are either like in Nigeria, Sudan, all these different African nations. Any place where they have an internet. Cheryl, that is naughty. She said, I told one I was on bond for stabbing my husband. Last I heard from him. If you remember right, the last one I was messing with, I actually told him that I was waiting for the spaceship so that I could go to where he was. And I was going to send the spaceship to him. He blocked me. You'll start out sweet with these guys and give them a little information, and then you will come up with some crazy stuff just for the fun of it. Look at it this way. While I am keeping this guy tied up and I'm doing screen caps of all this crap, He is not able to catfish another woman. Not able to at all. I'm starting out good with him, but I'm about to get crazy. Oh, my. Is it based on your work? Neither. I am retired. I travel. Which is kind of sort of BS because I do travel and I am retired, but I'm not going to Nicaragua in the morning, but he doesn't need to know that. Good to hear from you, my dear. Good to hear from you, my dear. Are you working? Oh, come on, computer. Oh, come on, dude. Let's have some fun. You hear the ding? Every time the ding on my phone happens, he has sent me a message. Okay, dear. How is your country today? I hope everything is well. The monkeys keep crapping on the pool deck. The monkeys don't crap on the pool deck. I did see them today, so that much is true. But I'm getting ready to go to Weird Town with him, so that's the fun part. And my throat is gone because everybody's called me. I've had 10,000 phone calls today. I've heard from all my children. I heard from my mother, everybody else. I've been on the phone all day. I need some fun. Come on, give me some fun. No, they don't get in the pool, and they don't even crap on us. A lot of times you'll find in an area where a lot of tourists are around and they're bugging the monkeys will crap on them. That's a real thing. But we have a pretty good relationship with the monkeys in our yard. They don't crap on us. We don't bug them. Today was so cute because it's the first day I'd seen some of the little baby monkeys, the little small monkeys of the howlers. It's the first time I've seen them up close. Most of the time, when they're itty bitty, you don't see them. And then when they grow a little bit and they get a little bit of independence from mommy, you'll start seeing them. And I saw them today for the first time, 3 new ones. And it was cute because when I was swimming, they were going down as low as they dared in our strangler fig and hanging upside down to stare at me. And of course, I was talking to them because, of course, why wouldn't you talk to your monkeys? I talk to mine. Yes, dear, I'm executing my 2 months project over here in Sicily, Italy. Thanks for your acceptance, okay? What type of project? This guy's name is Somalia MDC. McD. MDC. Dr. Pamela Isley. What's an IP name? Ooh, that's a really good one. I think I will. That's a really good one. Come on, dude. You type so fast and then you type so slow, and that is a really good one, Jessica. Like I said with these guys, they should start out with a certain amount of truth before I start going to crazy town and start feeding them lies for fun. And I've already taken all the screen caps I will ever need of his website, his Facebook. I've already sent them off to the 419 projects that I participate in. So his profile and his name that he's using on Facebook will go up on all of those, and they'll go up on the Nigerian romance scammer website as well as on my personal blog that I have for that. Okay, here is the most typical of Nigerian scammers lies. I work in an oil refinery company. I take projects and contracts from oil companies and execute them to world standards. But what But what does that mean? I can't type tonight. But what does that mean? I'm going to throw a mean one at him. Christoph Ann, this is one of my most favorite hobbies. And it's actually kind of funny sometimes, some of the stuff they come out with. But the thing that is so typical is the oil company lie is one of the biggest ones. That's one of the ones they almost all say. You either get oil company, ship captain, military, and usually when you start asking a military, they reveal pretty quickly they don't know a damn thing about the military. And my husband was in the Army. He retired. He was in military intelligence. So I do know a little something about the military, even though it's been some years now. And the other one is you will sometimes get them pretending to be doctors from Doctors Without Borders. Or they'll say they're with the U.S. Army as a doctor, or they're on some kind of super secret mission with the U.S. government. Okay, are you having to try and figure out how to tell me what it is you do? Because what you told me you do is, I'm just going to say it's bullshit, because I'm not going to monetize this video, because every single time that I do one of my Nigerian scam baiter ones and monetize it, not Yahoo, YouTube slaps me on the hand and immediately unmonetizes it. So, so you are military dependent, Cheryl. You know. The military is one of their most common approaches. And it's sad and sick because a lot of times it will take photos from young military guys and use those as theirs. One of the things I like to do, particularly a joker like this, and I've already done this with him, take his photos and run them on on Google Photos, find out where the photo came from. That's how I found out one of the ones a couple of times back was actually photos from a Joseph A. Bank ad. Joseph A. Banks. And I had another one that was an ad for, I can't even think of the name of the company. They also do suits, and their CEO used to come out and do their commercials, and then they fired his ass. If you don't look good, we don't look good. Something like that. Senior citizens brain going on. Christoph, what happens when they get put on a scam list is anybody that Googles that scammer's name at that point, this pops up. It pops up first that they're on the scammers list for these different 419 sites, for this Nigerian romance scammer site. It pops up, it pulls up. And hopefully, if you're talking to one, you would get them to at least Google the guy. I mean, surely you would do that. Know zero about what they are talking. 30-year-old general. I spit my tea out laughing. Cheryl, that is so funny. I love it when they tell me something like, this guy's talking about the oil and gas industry. I only worked for a short period of time for a company that sold oil and gas supplies to the oil fields. I hated it. It was a temporary job for like 3 months when I was in college, and I was going from temp job to temp job. And as little as I know, sometimes when I start talking to these guys and start making them explaining what they do, they don't have a clue how to explain it. I think that's why this is taking so long. I've asked him to explain exactly what it is he does, and he can't do it. Last night I had one that I thought about coming here, and I really should have. Confession. One of the people I got last night, I got one last night. The first one I had a long time. He said that he was Paul Stanley, and he had Paul Stanley up as his name. I don't know if you know who Paul Stanley is. He's the guitarist and singer for Kiss. Now, I do follow him on social media. disclaimer, I'm not a big fan of Kiss's music. It's never was my thing. When my stepbrother, who was obsessed with them, would make me go take him to see them because he was too young to go, like 13 or so, back in the early 80s, late 70s. I would bring my armload of textbooks from college, and I would go to the parents' room at the auditorium in Baton Rouge, and he and his little 13-year-old buddies would go up to see Kiss. Now, during my very brief marriage to a musician, we did meet the guys in Kiss. I think it was 74, 75, somewhere around there. And I wasn't impressed. So the only reason I ended up on Paul Stanley's list is his book ended up as a suggested read on one of the book clubs I'm in. And we started reading, and it was actually pretty good. And I actually said, wow, he's had a crazy journey, and I can relate to some of that. So I started following him on Facebook. And he has a Motown R&B band too. And now that's the kind of music I like. I love R&B. So I've listened to a fair amount of that, and it's actually pretty good. He actually has a good voice for that sort of thing. So I friended him on Facebook. So now I have this joker on Facebook who has copied. He did have a song called Beth back in 1975 or 6. So where this gets really funny for me is that this guy had copied in every way Paul Stanley's profile, pictures, everything. But I started searching and toggling back and forth, and I knew right away it wasn't Paul Stanley, because first of all, why would Paul Stanley just PM somebody out of the blue? I've commented once or twice on his stuff. He's liked a couple of things that I've said, but that's the most interaction there's ever been. Why would he go after a 61-year-old gray-haired granny? Makes no sense. So I knew this was a faker, and I knew it right away, and I verified it. So I started having some fun with him last night. I started telling him that the one time I met him, I thought he was a stuck-up jerk. And I started telling him I did not like his music. Hey, Tiny Dancer, we're torturing Nigerian, and he has not come back. He has not come back with an answer for me. Let me see. Nope. No answer. No answer. I think I stumped him. I think he's going to block me any second now, because he has no way of knowing that. So anyway, Paul Stanley was trying to hit me up and tell me how beautiful I was and how much he loved me and all this crap. And I was just like, you were an asshole to me when I met you. And I started really giving him a hard time, and not being very complimentary. Not said, I'm not a fan of yours. I liked your book, but that's it. I wasn't even being as nice as I normally am to the real Paul Stanley, since I knew this guy was a jerk. And he was trying to get me to go off of Facebook and to talk to him on WhatsApp. So I let him give me his phone number. And sure enough, I was able to trace exactly where he was and exactly who he was. And I turned around and I did send it to somebody who is involved with Kiss and Paul Stanley, and said, look, this guy is blah, blah, blah. Here's the profile, blah, blah, blah. Here's his phone number. His real name is XYZ. And he is in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and he's pretending to be Paul. I didn't get a chance to get hit up for money yet, but I know that's where it was going. I know he was going to say some crap about, I need the money because my wife left me and blah, blah, blah. But we didn't even get to that point. And I am not going off of Facebook Messenger to reveal my real phone number to such a scammer on WhatsApp. It's not happening. I don't want my phone number getting out there to those guys. Oh, I believe. Okay, it's been 10 minutes since he replied. 10 very long minutes in which I've gotten a chance to tell you about my history with Kiss. Like I said, I met them then. I thought he was kind of a jerk. I thought Gene Simmons was gross, and the other two guys looked like they were stoned out of their gourd, which they may well have been. It was back in the days when I was married to my first husband. Christoph! Oh my goodness! Really? Okay. I never went that far with those guys. I just wanted to get away from them. My ex-husband wanted to give me away to Gene Simmons, and I was just not having that. Just not having that. I was in my teens. I married someone much older than myself that was involved in music, and it was just a disaster. Disaster. Kept trying to gift me to various musicians, including like Gene Simmons, Ted Nugent, guys that I'm like horrified of, guys that even those days I wouldn't have put out to. Not that I wouldn't have had some fun with some various other people, but sadly, he did not try to gift me to anybody that I had a crush on. That is sad and unfortunate for me because I might have had more tales to tell you guys just then. He was an asshole to me. Christoph, I just got to ask you who, which, where, how. Not that there's any shame in that because in those days it was kind of anything goes. That's kind of how I ended up with my ex-husband because those days were kind of anything goes. And I don't think this guy's going to answer me back. I think I just asked him a question he can't answer. Let's see if he's blocked me. Let's see if this guy's blocked me yet. Hello? Okay, he said, executing my 2-month projects with ENI Spa Oil and Gas Company Limited. I guess you must have heard of it. Okay, here's where I'm starting to get bullshit with him. I told him, I worked in the industry for Exxon. I think you're quite possibly a liar. Let's see. Oh, Christoph, that actually sounds fun, going with a bunch of girls to these things. Oh, Jessica, I did not know that. I haven't been. No, it definitely wasn't dumb. That would be fun. I haven't seen. I've tried to stay away from without a crystal ball, but without a box of Kleenex because she's been bumming me out with her constant coverage of the Gwen Shamblin Lara thing. I mean, like I said, I've met Gwen Shamblin and had some doings with Way Down Workshop for a long time, and I happen to know that and have somebody here that's friends with the family and happen to know that some of the stuff that she's saying is complete, total, utter BS. Okay, he has messaged me back now that I accused him of being a liar. I'm sorry for the lateness of my process. I'm doing my paperwork. What do you mean I am a liar? You can make your research if you want to. So he told me to make my research, that he was not a liar. He repeated his thing where he said, I work for projects. And so now I'm fighting with him. I'm telling him he's a liar, pants on fire, and he's fighting with me. Now I'm really going to feed him a lie. Okay. Let's see what he says to this. I said, my father was an executive at Exxon. I know no one in the industry that uses such broken English and canned bullshit responses. Oh, so my father was not an executive at Exxon. I know a lot of people who worked at Exxon. Like I said, on one of my tour of crappy jobs in college, I did work for an oil fuel supply company for a while. I also worked for about 6 months for a company called Airborne Air Freight. And I used to go into Exxon all the time. I have a cousin that works there. I have an aunt who worked there for years and years and years. I have an uncle who's an engineer there. Exxon and Baton Rouge go together like peanut butter and jelly. In fact, I think that's why I have terrible asthma, because I was raised in the shadow of that freaking refinery. So for him to keep giving me this canned BS response, it's just utterly ridiculous. Because, like I said, I may not be a petrochemical engineer, but I know what he's saying is bullshit. I like to confront these guys every now and then. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm just going to be confrontational, be a real asshole, and see how long it takes to block me. Block me, block me. Oh, Randy Orndorff, go away. Actually, I shouldn't say that. He was actually pretty nice. Christoph, I'm glad you do, because not many people come in here and watch these things, but this is the most fun to me. I know how twisted is it that this is my fun, but this and buying jewelry are my fun. Okay, now he has responded. Let's see if he thinks his American queen is flying away from him. I'm confused. What do you mean by canned bullshit? If you are here to insult my job, I will block you. Please kindly unfriend me. Thanks. I'm telling him I've taken screenshots of his Facebook profile, shared them with all of the Nigerian romance scammer and Nigerian 419 scam sites. Good luck scamming any more American women, you ass clown. I normally don't call them bad names, but this one, I just don't know what the hell is going on with him. Okay, why can I not? Okay, I'm trying to get back to his profile. Okay, no, we're not friends. It says unfollow, more. Nope. I want more options than this. Block. Here we go. Confirm. And there you have it. Hey, Noel, thank you. Cheryl, I asked him exactly what he was doing, and he couldn't answer me. All he could do was keep spouting the same canned answer about a 2-month project with the oil and gas industry, but he couldn't say what he was doing. He couldn't say if he was working on contracts. He couldn't say if he was inspecting what he was doing. It was just 2-month contract oil and gas proposals. And there was nothing more than that. And I have banned him now, banned him and blocked him. I took screen caps of all of his BS, and guess what? It's all going up. It's all going up on the websites this evening. I already sent all of his all of his pictures and everything to the people at the Nigerian scammer sites. And another one bites the dust. I think I'm going to have to come up with some kind of graphic where I put the number of them. The last time I did this, I've actually turned down like 30 of these guys because the last time I did this, I had hundreds of them contacting me. I had Scamageddon over about 4 days where it was like several hundred of them tried to friend me at the same time. And it's funny because if they see you're friends with one, they'll all pile in. So this time I only did one at a time. One at a time is a lot easier to handle than if you have tons of them. I started getting burned out at Scamageddon and just said, okay, that's it for a while. Till Paul Stanley contacted me last night because I was so beautiful and he'd fallen in love and wanted to talk to a true fan. Dude, I am not your fan. That was so funny. Cheryl, I just always ask a lot of questions, and when I can sense the bullshit, I'll eventually boot them. Not as quick as I have done with a lot of these ones that I'm doing on here. I've had long baits that I've worked for months, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. I much prefer to get them on, get them off, get them on, make them say a lot of stupid things, and then boot them. There's a million techniques you can try to, Cheryl. I have done ones where first of all, you have to decide when you're baiting these guys what persona you take. I've used about 50 trillion different personas. I've never wanted to be an actor. This is the closest I've ever come to that. I'm too ADD to keep things. I have no secrets. I know it's really a pathetic way. I saw today some people were saying, oh, we're exposing so-and-so. It's like, you could try that with me, but there's nothing there. Everything with me is right out in the open. So that's what's really funny about these guys is that my real name is up there. They obviously don't look at the info because if they did, they would know where I was living. They wouldn't automatically ask me where I'm living. If they had any of that, they would know better. They would know better. But to tell me that you think I'm so beautiful and I'm the love of your life and all this crap, and then you can't be bothered to see if I'm working or where I live, huh? Should be a warning sign for any woman of almost retirement age or retirement age. These guys look for us. They come after us. They use the most flowery language, and eventually they will ask you for money. The months-long one, Cheryl, was hysterical because they kept asking me for money, and I kept pretending to send it. He would ask for the receipts. That is the problem. That's why I do this, and I publicize it, and I put it all on the websites because so many people fall for this crap. Cheryl, me too. I'm a terrible liar. Even if I've always said about some of these people that live in the internet basement and lie their asses off without a box of Kleenex, that they must have. Well, you saw Carolyn Ironwill's Post-its wall. I keep saying they would have to have a Post-its wall. Now, I do go through a lot of Post-its. I got a few packs of them in different sizes and types here because I use them. But the reason I use them is my brain is all over the place, and I have to put one by the door that says, do you have your cane? Do you have your masks? Because I'm all over the place. But I always say for those people, they probably have a huge wall of Post-its. The only time I do that is if I'm writing fiction and I'm trying to keep my characters straight. I will do that sometime. Jenny, you missed it. You missed it. I played with the guy and I booted him quick because he was really being obvious. And he was lying his ass off, of course. It is heartbreaking, Cheryl, how much money they give to these people, these fools. Yeah, Noelle, this is just one of those things that this is my little public service. So these guys, And like I said, it's sickening how they try to target women of a certain age because they think once you get past 50, you're lonely, 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 and desperate for any male attention, telling you how beautiful you are, even when you're not beautiful. I used to have a picture that I would give these guys of my head photoshopped on the nude body of a 500-pound man. And when they'd ask me for a nude, I'd slip them that and then say, um, you must be joking. No, that's how I look. I live in a circus now. So it's fun if you can invent a persona. Jenna, they do. That is one of their common ones. They always claim to be working in the oil industry because I think that they choose the oil industry because it's all over the world. Not many people, if you're not working in it, you don't know the ins and outs of working on the rig, working in the refinery. You don't know that. So they're counting on the fact that most people aren't going to research. When they start with me, like this guy, I researched where he said he was working and it doesn't exist. I mean, the company exists. It doesn't exist where he says that he is. And he said that on his profile that he lived in Austin, Texas. As you could read from me reading, if you can hear from me reading his post, he didn't always have the best grasp of English. A lot of these guys don't get English, and it's fun to just throw a random weird word in there. Tell them you got to see proof of their candy bar or something like that. But some position in oil and gas, a boat captain, a doctor overseas, and military are the most common ones. And they're always working somewhere a long way from their home. They always claim to be from a place in the U.S., working overseas for the oil industry. And they don't know that I stop and research everything about these guys so that when they do finally PM me, I am ready. I've got their profile and all. Also, I said he was from France, but my mother knows French, hers, even though her parents were from Israel. She speaks better French than they do. Well, that's interesting. Did he ever speak French with her? Or did he avoid it? That's what I would like to know, because that's another telling thing. I always tell them to tell me in Igbo, which is one of the Nigerian languages, their real names. My husband lived over there. He understood a little Igbo. He tried some. I bet it was pathetic. And these guys are too funny. So I'm going to go ahead and go. I've had a lot of fun tonight. I love it when these idiots come a knocking. I like to knock them down each and every time. I got to figure out which one this is, 7, 8, whatever. And go from there and see what happens with these guys. It's just too funny. Too funny. Next time I may try my nun persona. That's always a fun one with these guys. Because when I do the nun, she doesn't know a damn thing. And I always tell them that if they contact me through my profile and I tell them I'm none, so I'm using my sister's profile because the convent won't let me have Facebook. So there you go. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to go read a book, do something more useful than playing with these guys.